Welcome back to Jerusalem Dateline. Israeli archaeologists announced one of the most important discoveries in years that answers one of the most perplexing questions about the ancient city of Jerusalem. For more than 100 years, archaeologists searched for the Greek fortress known as the Acra from the time of the Maccabees in the 2nd century BC. Now they say they've found it.
We are now can be more than positive that we are facing part of the stronghold that used to house the upper part of the city of David in the time of Antiochus IV.
Antiochus IV built the more than 50 feet tall fortress in order to control Jerusalem. After he defiled the Jewish temple, the Maccabees, also known as the Hasmoneans, revolted. The excavation discovered evidence of that revolt. The discovery confirms the accounts of the historian Josephus and the Book of Maccabees.
In the Book of Maccabees, it specifically says that the Acra fortress is built in the city of David.
It also fills in another big piece of the puzzle of ancient Jerusalem.
Today, because of this discovery, we can connect other elements that were isolated thus far and put them all together to see the real fortress or stronghold here on the upper part of the city of David.
Rabbi Barnea Levi Selavan says the discovery brings to life the story of Hanukkah.
So I have to tell a 4th grader or a 4-year-old or a cynical college kid, the mighty Greek Empire, I can now show it with an unprecedented, massive, powerful building, which is mentioned in the text discussing these battles. You made that story come alive. Who doesn't want to have the Hanukkah story come alive?
The 8-day celebration commemorates the rededication of the temple after the Maccabees captured it from Antiochus. According to the story, when they tried to light the menorah, the Maccabees discovered they only had oil for 1 day. Miraculously, it lasted for 8. Selavan says these ancient stones cry out with a message for today.
There is a Josephus, and he said that the Greeks made a powerful fortress which controlled the city. The bravery of the Hasmoneans to take on the Greeks who are sitting right there in Jerusalem. The bravery of the Hasmoneans to service in the temple for 25 years when there's Greek soldiers right there. At least we can serve God. So we don't have political freedom, but we can serve God. What a message.
Finally this week, when we interviewed Rabbi Barnea Levi Selavan, he added his own perspective about the current situation here in Jerusalem. We felt it was worth sharing.
If you're living overseas and you have either a television or a smartphone, you may think that Israel is a place that a sane person should not walk right now, and certainly not Jerusalem, and certainly not the old city of Jerusalem. So as a resident of the old city Jerusalem, who this morning went to the grocery store and bought 4 yogurts and a milk, and came back home and went out to the synagogue and went to a news conference, and whose wife is now driving around town, we live here a normal life. 800,000 residents of Jerusalem are functioning. The millions of people in Israel are functioning. It is not a simple time, but don't look at the spotlight that one camera is putting on this particular place. Please realize life is going on here, and the businesses here are suffering from the lack, as it says in Lamentations, the ways of Zion are empty. It's all perceptions. They would be safer if everybody was here and everybody was visiting. But not just to help the Israeli businessmen, and I'm talking about my Arab neighbors who are crying out near Damascus Gate, and the Arab taxi drivers I spoke with yesterday who think this is going to be years before we can earn a normal living. You need to come to Israel for your spiritual self. Israel ignites your soul.
That's why it's important to be praying for the peace of Jerusalem.